we've gotten cynical and we talk about the fact that the RCMP didn't release any video footage of the CCTV of Jack and Lilly at Dollarama on 235. Well, I want to make a little video explaining the reasons why the RCMP wouldn't. And there's several, apparently. So let me go through this. So Jack and Lilly Sullivan were captured on the store's surveillance video around 2:25 p.m. on Thursday, May the 1st. That day, along with their mother and stepfather. The RCMP has not publicly released the footage or still photos from it, even while announcing the last public sighting and appealing for more dashcam and surveillance video from the area. So the likely reasons for not releasing this footage: police, including the RCMP, routinely withhold certain evidence in missing persons investigations, especially those involving young children and potential family involvement. Common reasons include, there's 5. Protecting the integrity of witness statements and corroboration. By not showing the exact video, police can better assess the reliability of tips and statements from the family or others. Releasing it might contaminate public memory or lead to false tips based on the footage rather than independent recollections. Ongoing investigation and evidence integrity. Releasing video could have compromised the case. It might allow suspects or persons of interest, for example, the family members, to tailor their statements, create alibis, or coordinate stories. In this case, the parents and stepfather have faced significant public scrutiny and were extensively investigated. Though the RCMP has not publicly labeled them as prime suspects and continues treating it primarily as a missing persons case. Well, there's a parallel case going on beside it, of course. Operational and tactical considerations. Releasing specific surveillance could reveal what police know or don't know about movements, clothing, behavior, or interactions that day. This is useful for verifying alibis or timelines privately, but less so if broadcast widely. Understood. The RCMP has reviewed thousands of hours of video from the area and is still seeking more, citing their information on their website. There's also privacy, sensitivity, and family dynamics. The footage of the young children with family in what appears to be a normal outing could be emotionally sensitive. Releasing it might not generate useful new leads if the children weren't in distress or with strangers, while invading privacy or fueling speculation or rumors, which the RCMP has actively discouraged in favor of fact-based tips. Oh, we're giving them to you. And finally, standard police practice in family involved or suspicious missing child cases. In cases where family members are under scrutiny, even if not formally charged, police are cautious about releasing visuals that could be misinterpreted or used to harass. Broader policies around missing persons often limit public release of certain evidence to avoid jeopardizing prosecution if it turns criminal, or to protect any potential ongoing search. Announcing the last public sighting location and time without the video is a common middle ground strategy. It jogs public memory, encourages tips about that specific outing or timeline, and narrows the timeline. Let me reread that. It encourages tips about that specific outing or time frame, and narrows the timeline, helping rule out or focus on certain periods without handing over raw visual evidence. Understood. Well, with old Jordan Geddes having court next Monday, he'll probably ask for a stay. I don't know why he just doesn't get it over with and plead not really guilty. Just plead no contest, Jordan. But of course, he's has the right to a fair and speedy trial. I wanted to go over with you, friends, and just remind you, Jordan's house here. Whoop, let's not get too far. Remember, Jordan lives out here in the back of his mom's place. There's his black Dodge in the front. There's mom's. But just down the road, the next driveway by this lake, you go in there and take a look what's in there. Got bins, great big bins on the side there. This is a real dump back in here. Look at all the scrapped cars. This is probably where Daniel went to take his Dodge Journey to get scrapped. But as well, it goes beyond that. It looks like it's a landfill. Is it just for steel? It's hard to tell. But you can see primarily there's all kinds of scrapped vehicles back there. Maybe it's metal recycling. Beside there is another business. I don't know whether they rent out these big bins or they make them. And then finally beside that is Danny's Sawmill. Danny and Jordan. This is the place where they're off on stress. Jesus. Really makes you think about the reason as to why it is that they're off on stress leave. What's so stressful about going to work? It should be a bit of an escape, and of course everybody needs money. Not respecting your employers very much. I wonder if there's a lot more to this. And I feel it, there is. There's a lot more to this in what goes on at that sawmill. You know, recently we talked about what Anita was speaking about with these alleged videos and Danny soliciting these images to his buddies at work or bragging about them. They know something at work about Danny's history and his behavior. And the conversations with him and Jordan. Jordan can't be there. Danny has to influence him because of them both sharing this job at the lumber mill. Now, how stupid can Durwood and everybody be? Why would you lie immediately, especially lie to me and Mike in real time, Jordan, and try to convince people way back in November that, you know, you barely know Daniel. He was out of your life for years when you guys work at the same sawmill, bro. How is it this dude can be out of your life for years and you guys work at the same place? Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. Why are you lying? Why are you always lying, Jordan? But I mean, it's just, look at the charges ahead of Daniel. These SA, the assault, forcible confinement, and the cache of weapons that this RCMP raid found over at Jordan's. You know, it sounds like there's a lot more to this, and it's tied in through the sawmill. People at the sawmill have to have information about the ongoing behavior of these two. I'm interested to know. Maybe that's partially the reason. Well, it's all ties in together, no doubt, but you know, it's got to be a contributing factor to the reason why they're not back at work due to stress in that sense. i.e., people talking behind their back, that's the stress. Everybody's talking about you at work. Of course you can't go in there and show your face. Because of how suspicious you guys look. People will be talking extra at work about you guys. There ain't no way. First of all, Daniel Martell is not a good person. Nobody will be talking kindly about Daniel unless they're in cahoots with him. There's nothing kind or nice about Daniel to begin with. He's out of control at this time. He's on all kinds of substances, committing violent acts within the home, neglecting kids, sending them to school. But again, Jack and Lilly aren't his responsibility, right? They are now when you've moved them back into your pleasure palace on Gairloch Road, bro. We're going to figure out exactly what the hell these guys were up to. It's comical how you can really chalk up. I've never been around a person that is 100% full of shit like these people. You know, usually it's a lot more difficult to detect the lies when it's just a couple lies, and it's hidden amongst the truth. But there's never any truth with these guys. They're that desperate, and it's only a matter of time before people find out. So why would you go that extra effort and lie? And then try to convince people that, for Durwood especially, Darren Geddes, that, oh, you need to get out here and lie. Now listen, I'm going to tell you all these things, but remember, I'm lying. But I know all kinds of information. Dickhead, Darren and Jordan can't help but indicate that they have all kinds of guilty knowledge. All kinds of it, and they're just not willing to share it. That's what they spent their months and their activities online still to this day. We're going to figure you guys out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below.